which declares that all sovereign power belongs to the people, and that this power shall be exercised only in accordance with the Constitution.
Does President William Ruto and his government stand a chance of completing their first term? While the Kenya Kwanza government is determined to ensure their boss stays in power, many Kenyans seem equally determined to see Ruto vacate office immediately.
What is good for the head is good for the neck. 2 is better than 1. Impeach them both.
Leading the charge is Morara Kebaso, who has openly declared war on Ruto's regime. Kebaso is demanding that both the president and his deputy resign due to what he calls their continued incompetency. In fact, Kebaso is now calling on Kenyans to take to the streets and camp there until Ruto steps down.
Fellow Kenyans, Occupy Parliament Season 2 is loading. The streets are calling us. We have a missed call from the streets, and we are not known to reject a call of the streets. We love the streets, and the streets love us. This week on Friday, the public participation hearings for the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua will be done in various parts of the country. I will be posting to you on my social media pages the location where the public participation will be held. I would like you Kenyans to turn up in large numbers wherever you are in Kenya. And the message is simple. What is good for the head is good for the neck. 2 is better than 1. Impeach them both. Whatever the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua has done, the Honorable William Ruto or the Dishonorable William Ruto has done it twice or thrice or more than 10 times, and there is evidence to that. So why not impeach them both? Why shouldn't we get rid of bad leadership and begin afresh? This is going to be our message at every single place where public participation will be held all over the country. That we want to get rid of bad leadership in Kenya, beginning now, not beginning next week, not beginning next month. We want change now. We are impatient with the way the country is being run. Therefore, Mkenya mwenzangu, hiyo siku, mark it on your calendar, clear your diary, make yourself available so that we turn up in the public participation hearings and we make our voice heard that we want both of these people who are running our country down to be impeached. See you at the public participation hearing.
Beyond accusations of incompetence, some Kenyans are labeling President William Ruto as a tribal leader. Ironically, Ruto's own allies have frequently accused the deputy president instead of being tribal, though many believe that Ruto himself is guilty of the same.
Becoming a tribal leader, all the appointments, and you guys are joking. The most tribal person. Just go to the institutions that are employing Kenyans. Go to TSC. Less than 2 years, the Kalenjin community is leading and has given the other tribes a very big gap. Only 2 years of William Samoei Ruto in that job. Go to KRA. Ilibidi high court isimamishe those appointments. Zilikuwa zinafanywa on pure tribal basis. Zimesimamiwa na mtu anaitwa William Samoei Ruto, the most tribal person in action. Na huwa anafanya all those tribal appointments, then akikuja kwa watu anaanza kusema tunataka Kenya moja, tunataka muungane, Kenya iende mbele ikiwa moja. The most tribal person. Kenyans, you are going to make a very big mistake. Hapa ni pale mnasikiaga town, a pickpocket ametoa mtu simu, alafu mkimkimbiza anasema mwizi, na yeye anasema mwizi pale mbele. Mnakimbiza ule si mwizi. Gachagua is not tribal. Gachagua just talk. Mulima, shareholders. But the most tribal is William Samoei Ruto. Hizi vitu nimewawekea hapa hivi. Juzi the Gen Z movement wamepigania they need a good country, and those people they kasema Murkomen nyumbani, akina Chiri nyumbani, akina Moses Kuria nyumbani, akina Mithika Linturi nyumbani. The most tribal leader akarudisha the most corrupt because they are from his community. Akarudisha Chilchil, in fact akamweka transport, akarudisha the same Murkomen akampeleka sijui sports. Kuria, Mithika Linturi nyumbani. Ruto is very, very tribal. And I want to tell you the truth. Hata hizi vitu nasikia zinakuliwa Kenya mzima, my friend. The only people who knows what is happening in Adani It is Murkomen, who was in transport, Chilchil, who was in energy, Ruto, and Aaron Cheliot, mwenye alikuwa ametumwa India kuangalia mambo ya ndani. That is the only people who knows what is happening. Mlisikia Gachagua akiwaambia yeye haelewi what is going on with Adani. He doesn't know. And maybe that is the reason they want Gachagua out, because Gachagua anachimba kwani mnakula peke yake, hata mimi nataka kukula. Ukiuliza mtu kama Ishongwa na hiyo mdomo yake, what is happening in Adani, hajui. Yeye anajua tu shida ni Gachagua. Hajui. I'm telling you for free, the most tribal person in this country is none other than William Samoei Ruto. And that's why they want Gachagua out, because Gachagua pia anataka kukula pale in the Ruto's kitchen cabinet, au yenye nimekutajia. If you ask yourself, why all this war? Si tunapigania ati vitu za ati barabara, ati majani, ati kahawa. You remember very well, the person who came and told us that Nairobi inakulua yote na mtu anaitwa Oscar Sudi, every month anapo over 300 million, was none other than Gakuya. And Gakuya is a Gachagua person like this. So lazima walienda kwa meza, Sudi akawaambia hatugawani, hizi ni zetu, Ruto's kitchen cabinet na Mudosi, nyinyi mkaa hivyo. And that's where all the war is coming from. I can tell you that now they're impeaching Gachagua because he's a tribal leader. He only talks about Mount Kenya region. Gachagua is tribal by words. By words. He just say, oh, msiguze mlima. Oh, we are shareholders. But the most tribal person in this country, the most tribal leader in this country.
With frustration mounting, Kenyans are increasingly vocal, declaring that it's time for this government to leave office. But the big question is, do you think it is possible for the Kenyans to remove President William Ruto from office? And if that happens, then what's next? There is no other person who can explain this apart from Gore Semelango, who has gone ahead and given us an in-depth analysis of what Kenyans need to do for the president to vacate office and what might happen if the president vacates office. Kindly watch the video here, courtesy of Dr. Kingori.
When there is chaos, there are some people who benefit because they become a threat when they want to threaten the unity of the state, which means the state can become ungovernable. And the Gen Z have the capacity to make the state ungovernable. In the sense
and there is a point of no return.
There is a point of no return, and that's why I was telling you, you are leaderless, you are tribeless, and you are fearless. So which means you can actually throw out a president, a sitting head of state, without following the constitutional order, but by going through the Article 1, where you are saying the power, the sovereign power belongs to the people. Yes. But what happens when that happens? But there's the flip side of it.
When the people take power now.
Yes. How do they now exercise power? All of us, we've taken power. Now, how do we exercise that power? Which means the military, who are the custodian, they are subordinate to the civilian authority, but now, by law, they are supposed to secure our borders and secure the state. You see, now government is gone. Now we have a state with the boundaries. So the military now secures our boundaries but and ensures that now there is law and order. Now, what they will do
law
first,
and order, and there is no constitution. Where is this?
No, they will create law and order, because now you can't sleep in your house. Somebody can actually come and remove you from house and sleep in your bed
and say that it is his house.
Yes. What will you do? Because there is no law. So the first thing they do, because there is no constitutional order. I've said law and order, not constitutional order. Now they will take power. When they take power, it is unconstitutional. So they will have to suspend the constitution. The police become civilian. So what will happen? The very fundamental rights you use to picket, to demonstrate, and to petition authorities and cost the president to leave power is now you immediately relinquish that right. You cannot demonstrate now. See, now you are finished. And now the president is gone, the government is not there.
Yes.
Now what happens now? You relinquish the military when they take over you, that privilege, now it becomes a privilege.
So
they can say don't to that.
What's to say that the Gen Z will listen to the military?
They have no choice, my friend. You know, it is not, this one is not civilian authority. You see, they have a constitutional...
So they will commit genocide on the country they are supposed to protect.
Who? The
military. Yes.
No, let me ask you now. You've removed the civilian authority. That's the constitutional. The constitution gives you power to demonstrate, to picket, and to remove whoever you want.